Welcome to our first class of Mindset for IELTS Foundation, a student's book. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Selma, and I will be your instructor throughout this course. I am delighted to have you here. In this series, we will build the essential English language skills you need to succeed in the IELTS exam. Together, we will improve your listening, reading, writing, speaking, grammar, and vocabulary through engaging lessons and practical activities. In today's class, we will begin with Unit 1. First, we will take a look at the course structure or plan and learn how to approach the exercises effectively. I will share I will also share some useful tips to help you get the most out of each lesson. Whether you are just starting your IELTS journey or you are improving your English foundation, this course is designed to help you develop your skills and build your confidence step by step. By the end of this course, you will be better prepared to tackle the IELTS exam with confidence. So let us get started, and I hope you enjoy learning with me. That is the cover page, of course, and I will scroll down to the content or the structure of the course. Of course, we will start with basic topics or common topics in your exam. We will talk and practice about daily life. That is for Unit 1, and moving to house and home in Unit 2, exploring hobbies, leisure time, and entertainment. And for Unit 4, of course, we will learn a lot about travel and holidays. And then we will practice the language about food. And then in Unit 6, we will learn about transport and places in town. In 7, we will, of course, learn more about jobs, work, and study. In Unit 8, we will explore health and medicine language. And in 9, we will practice the language itself. And in Unit 10, lastly, we will learn about science and technology. And of course, you have the answer key and listening scripts at the back of the book. So now, without further delay, let us scroll down to Unit 1 and the first lesson. Unit 1, it's about daily life, the things you do on daily basis or every day. And here we have some objectives to achieve through this unit. We will learn how to understand activities that people do in their daily routine. We practice using present simple and adverbs of frequency like sometimes, always, and so on. And then read multiple texts to choose the correct answer. And read about a daily routine. Read to guess meaning from context. Listen to information about student exchange trip. And finally, speak about your day. Describe your daily routine. So let us start with the lead-in here. Look at the pictures and read the words. Which of these activities do you do every day? Please write 5 more activities you do every day. So, I would like you to think about the time you get up. When do you get up? And when do you do exercise? And also then when you start your work or when you start your study, do you go to university? And when do you catch the bus? For example, going to work or university or getting back. And then 6, what do you watch TV? Do you watch it with family or friends or alone? And do you go online? What kind of apps or websites do you navigate? And here, do you relax with your friends? Do you do that every day or do you do it in your free time or at weekends? For 9, Do you go to bed? At what time do you go to bed? I go to bed around 11, sometimes a bit late, at 12 a.m. And when do you have breakfast? So, I would like one of you to describe their daily routine. For example, I get up around 6:30. I get ready and I do a bit of stretching or exercising for around 15 minutes. Then I prepared my breakfast and have it, of course, around 8:30. I get ready to start work. I work from home, I work online. And sometimes I go to a library nearby, so I catch the bus usually around 9 a.m. in the morning. And when I leave work or the library around 12 p.m., I watch TV with my family. And then I sometimes go online to check some work and also to socialize with my friends virtually. I hope if I could meet my friends. Actually, I live abroad and I do not have much friends. And I go to bed around 11 p.m., as I said, sometimes a bit late, 12 a.m. So, can you please tell me about your daily routine? Okay, so now vocabulary and speaking. Read the sentences about a boy who is doing a language course in the UK. Choose the best answer A, B, or C. Here, Bing. At 7:30 a.m. every morning and has breakfast with his host family. The right answer is gets up because Bing is singular and that is his everyday life. Okay, so we use present simple. And for number one, at 8:30 a.m., he dashed the bus to his language school. Of course, catches the bus. That means he takes the bus to the language school where he studies and learns English. During the day, Bing studies English and Dash to his classmates. Of course, chats. That means he talks to other his classmates in the class or in the school. Everyone speaks English in his class because the students all dash from different countries around the world. So here, students, it is general. So we say come from different countries. After being finishes school at 3 p.m., he often does some sightseeing in the city with his friends. Of course, he makes some sightseeing. That means to go around and to look at the buildings, the historical buildings, the streets, and so on. Last, in the evening, Bing relaxes with his host family, dash TV or goes online, watches TV, of course. Now, you tell me, do you do any of the activities in exercise 3? Please write that in the comment. What time does your school, college, or job start and finish? When do you start work? Or when do you start your college? And what do young people like to do in the evenings in your country? Do they like to go out, to hang out, to chat with friends, or to stay at home, watch TV, and enjoy being together? Okay, so now we are looking at reading. Choose the correct answer. You are going to read an article about the daily life of three teenagers from different countries. So, we are learning about three young people from different countries. Skim the text once quickly. It means read it very quickly. Underline the activities that you do in your daily routine. So, here you can underline the things that you do in your everyday life. A day in the life. So we are reading the articles. Three college students from around the world tells us about their daily routine. Let us start with Ava from Australia. I am from a small town in Queensland. Most people in Australia live near the coast, but we live on a cattle farm in the center of the country. Usually, people live around the sea, but our family live on a farm. My mom teaches at college, so I usually go with her in her car instead of taking the bus. So her mom drives her to the college. College starts at 8:30 a.m. and finishes at 4 p.m. When I get home, I help my dad on the farm for a few hours. So after college, she helps her father doing the work on the farm. In the evenings, I try to watch TV, but I'm usually too tired. I go to bed at about 10 p.m. So, for Ava, she has breakfast at 7 a.m. and then her mom drives her to the college and she starts at 8:30 and then gets back at 4 p.m. and she helps her dad on the farm and then she sleeps early. Yes, next to Nina from Norway. So, this is Nina here. I live in a village on Norway's Atlantic coast. She lives near the Atlantic coast. I get up at 7:30 a.m. and walk to college. Classes begin at 8:30 and finishes 3 p.m. So she started a little bit late compared to she finishes a little bit earlier compared to Ava. Ava finishes at 4 while Nina finishes at 3 p.m. So earlier, she finishes earlier, but they started school at the same time, 8:30. After that, I go to one of the college clubs. These are not very expensive, and there are also lots of to choose from. I do athletics and football, but you can also do things like folk dancing and cross country skiing. So she goes to clubs, and there are many activities like athletics, football, but for her, she likes folk dancing, cross country skiing. When my parents come home from work, my dad makes dinner and we all eat it together. After that, my mom takes me out for driving lesson. I have got my test soon and I need to practice. So Nina learns how to drive, and her mom is taking her to the lesson, and she has a test very soon. Now for Michael here from Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro. I get up at 6 a.m. and catch a bus to college at 6:30. Lessons start at 7:20 a.m. So for Michael, he starts very early, 7:30, not 8:30 like Ava and Nina. And he usually has breakfast at 9:50 and then study until 12:30. Yes, I get home at about 1:40 p.m. So he gets back at 1:40, earlier than Ava and Nina. After that, I often go to the beach with my friends to swim in the ocean or play beach volleyball. So after school, he goes to the beach with friends. They swim or play volleyball together. But I sometimes also just stay at home to sleep or study. In the evenings, I cook dinner for my family. Then we watch TV or listen to the radio before bed. So they watch TV in the evening or listen to radio and then they go to sleep. I switch off my light about 10 p.m. so he sleeps early because his school or lessons start around 6 at 6:30. All right. Now, let us answer the questions here. Who finishes studying before 1 p.m.? Of course, that is Michael because he finishes at 12:30. Who works with a member of family at college? Yes. After college. That is, of course, Ava because she helps her father works on the farm. Who goes out in the car in the evenings? That is Nina, because her mom is taking her to driving lessons. Who gets a lift in a car to college most mornings? So that is Ava. She doesn't catch bus. She actually, uh, her mom drives her to college. Who prepares the evening meal for the family? That is Michael, who cooks the dinner. And who pays to do extra activities in the afternoons? That is Nina, of course, because she goes to clubs. Who finds it difficult to watch TV in the evenings? That is Ava, and she said she is too tired to watch TV, so she sleeps early. Who lives a long way from the sea? Also, that is Ava, because she said people in Australia or in her area live near the coast while her family live on a farm. All right. So now we move to grammar. Okay. We can actually resume the grammar and speaking section in our next class. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel and write your comments below. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you.